Okay. Hi guys, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Okay.
I'm here on air with Sidney and Carol Symons. Absolutely wonderful to see you. Sidney, I haven't seen you in shul for at least 3 weeks. So it's a pleasure to see you. How are you guys?
Okay, we miss Synagogue and we miss seeing all the friends and the smiling faces and the nodding. And it's only when, we get used to things in life and we take things for granted, but when they're not there, that's when we miss them. And Synagogue goes very high up on the list.
How true that is. How true that is. And we miss you as well, as we miss many, many people in the congregation who we can't see. So I guess about two and a half weeks ago, that the health secretary announced that older people should stay home for at least 12 weeks to be shielded from their own protection. And I just want you to share with me your perspective. How have you coped in this time? How are you managing? How are you spending your time? Give us a bit of an insight into how life's going.
Can I answer that? Yeah. Okay, so we have set up a form of a routine. First of all, I have to say we didn't get that letter from the doctor or the email saying that we have to be especially careful. So that was good. So we set up a routine, but we have actually slowed down in so much as we get up a bit later, we have tea and breakfast later. We do go out for a drive because Sidney can't walk very far. And we usually make a point of going to the park in whatever weather. And we'll go for a little walk round. And then we'll do any food shopping and then come back home, read. We've played Scrabble, talked a little.
So this situation done wonders for your marriage then?
But on the whole, it's basically an hour or so out, perhaps a bit more, and then just coming home and settling back, yes.
Right, but you make a point to make sure that every day you get out the house, whether it's a little
definitely.
bit of exercise. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, Yoni, for us and for everyone, no one has experienced this situation ever before.
Sure.
There's many highs and lows. From a business point of view, and I'm still in business, we've had to close showrooms, offices. We have a factory just outside Birmingham, closed. We've been asked, funnily enough, to make hand washes and sanitizers, so we're looking at that. Maybe that might help, but no one knows the answer of when it's going to end and how it's going to end. And there's also financial, whatever situation one is, one needs cash flow. So at the present moment, money's going out and no money is coming in from the point of view of business people. So there's great problems and it's a learning curve.
Absolutely, it's very challenging. Tell me something, would you have some words of advice or encouragement to share with senior members of our community? I don't know if you heard my interview with Stella Lucas, who is remarkably optimistic.
Yes, that was wonderful.
But I would love to hear some of your insights.
Okay, so in principle, I would say keeping in touch with family. On our drive out, we've actually driven past our daughter's house and we've waved through the car windows and spoken that way. I think one has to be, to realize that this will pass and one has to be patient. Sure. As Sidney said, it is a situation that nobody has ever had to deal with. It's in a way, it's even a bit more challenging than a war, from what my aunt says, who's 94. But I do think that one has to hope and know it will pass, but one has to be sensible, and one also has to realize that things will be different, very different, and to hope to rise to that challenge as well. Sure. Afterwards. But absolutely. For older people, I think in a way we actually can deal with it. Perhaps I'm not saying the isolation because that's difficult, but we actually feel that we're more resilient in a way, I think, than young people. Perhaps a bit more patient.
Sure.
That's the way I.
Although I must say that from all the people, if you go in the park, they all say hello. So people definitely are more friendly. You'll see that if there's a queue outside of the bank or a shop, or they space themselves. So everyone's thinking and everyone is considerate. And I think that it's going to happen when it finishes, that people will understand that the simple things in life are what counts.
This is
that's so profound.
But this is where older people know that anyway. But you
Sure.
can't. It's a matter of the situation being understood. It's where experience is better. Experience taught is better than experience taught, and younger people. It's a salutary lesson for younger people, I think.
I think the world has generally become a kinder place. I mean, I went to Sainsbury's earlier on our essential shopping trip, and the lady who served me, who was wearing masks and gloves, she said to me that every single person who's been in here today has said thank you so much. I know myself, when Amazon arrived with a delivery, I'm hugely grateful to the person. We've all got this sense of gratitude that we didn't perhaps have. We took things for granted, and that's very much true. Okay,
Absolutely.
my next question for you guys. Sidney, you're a community man. You are the Kiddush Club, man. You organize it, you make it happen. And people really are missing those interactions. How is the first Shabbat back in St. John's Wood going to look like for you? What's it going to be like?
Well, we're going to have a big l'chaim, of course. Probably a champagne Kiddush. I've sent out a letter to all the members. There's about 50 of us. And they all responded to that letter. I didn't send it to you because I didn't know whether I should or not.
I'm an honorary member.
But it basically, it says we take things for granted. We take the synagogue for granted. It's there. When it's not there, then we realize how much it plays a part in a Jewish life.
Sure.
And also, the Kiddush Club is a different ball game. As you know, we go out, we have a drink for 50, but there's a lot of friendly faces. There's a lot of friendships have been made and matured over the years, and they all say how much they miss it. They miss the comradeship, and obviously they miss the communal factor of the synagogue. And I think that when it's all over, I think there's going to be an upsurge in people going to synagogue.
I'm coming, Yoni.
I can't wait, Carol. I must tell you, what's been amazing for us, as you know, Andrew Mates sent an email today of all the projects at the synagogue.
Sorry, your voice went a bit odd.
I said Andrew Mates, our chairman.
You said, do we know someone?
Andrew Mates sent an email today.
We lost him.
Yeah, wait a moment. Let's come back.
Have you got me?
Hello? Yeah, your voice went off a bit.
No problem. I was just saying that Andrew Mates, our chairman, sent an email today about all the projects that the synagogue has undertaken, whether that's 65 volunteers.
Yes, I saw that and I read it.
And some amazing things that are going on. But one thing that I've noticed is that people are tapping in and logging into our education program who are not synagogue regulars. But it's in times of crisis that we kind of pull together, and people want synagogue, they want community. And I think that's a really, really true sentiment. Okay.
Sorry, may I just say that I do think the daily broadcasts from you and the synagogue are terrific. I think it's really, really brought it home to, or certainly to me, how much I love this community, I suppose. Yeah, that's what it is.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Just to conclude, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. I can't wait to see you face to face, but I send you a virtual hug. But do you have any closing remarks for the community that you want to share?
Keep strong, keep safe, and we look forward so much to being back to relative normality. Yes, anything else?
Well, keep a sense of humor.
Yeah, that's
very important, especially at home if you're married with your wife. And also make sure that you give her some distance as well.
Yeah.
bit of space. But I think a sense of humor is one of the main factors of life as well. Laugh and try to find.
And a whiskey at 7 o'clock okay?
AM or PM? AM or PM?
No, PM, Yoni. Okay.
Okay.
All the best, guys. All the best. Thanks so much.
All the very best.
Bye-bye.